I was just wondering if I could ask you, from a legal perspective, how do governments go about trying to negotiate the release of these hostages? What concessions could be offered? How would it work?
The international law aspects of this are, of course, extremely important and myths. From an international law perspective, Israel does not only have the right to a robust response, but under the Convention on the Prevention and the Punishment of Genocide, the crime of genocide, it also has an affirmative obligation, like the rest of the signatories to that convention, to make sure that never again means never again.
There are also rules of war and engagement, so it's not that you can't defend yourself, it's how you defend yourself in the situation. In this case, how Israel defends itself. Until today, no food, no water, no medical supplies, aerial bombardments day and night aimed, Israel says, at Hamas and Hamas infrastructure, but the number of casualties amongst civilians has been very, very high.
Israel is issuing warnings of where it will be striking Hamas terrorist infrastructure. It's a practice used by all law-abiding countries. It is telling them to leave in order to try to save their lives. And of course, there has also been mass evacuation of Israelis. Israel is not required to fund or assist Hamas war efforts. That isn't viable during a military campaign where Hamas exploits these transfers, stealing supplies and penetrating humanitarian organizations to mask its terror operations and to launder funds. International law only requires that Israel facilitate the passage of food and medicine by third parties if such goods can be reliably delivered without diversion to Hamas.
What is not allowed under international law is something that is alleged by aid agencies, for example, and they say that what the effect on Palestinian civilians stuck inside Gaza, they say, seems like collective punishment.
Basic rules outlined by the Geneva and the Hague Conventions are that sieges are lawful unless they are deliberately aimed at starving the local population. The IDF has been repeatedly clear about its objectives: defeating Hamas, establishing a new reality in Gaza where Israel doesn't face a genocidal terror organization that has the will or capability to attack Israeli civilians, and rescuing the hostages.